Wow, the Phillies go out, never afraid to pay full retail.
Right.
The Phillies before Dombrowski, now with Dave Dombrowski.
Trea Turner was the guy they wanted. He was the guy they clearly had circled on their bulletin board. And tell me any time that you can remember Dave Dombrowski identifying a star player that he wanted and needed and was willing to pay the price for and didn't get him.
Right.
He got him.
It's not even the it's not even the $300 million. It's the 11th year. You get that sense that, oh, how about we go to 11? This one goes to 11. This one does.
Well, it's like Bryce Harper, 330, went to 13 years. In
Yep.
some way, what it does is it brings the AAV down a little bit for the luxury tax calculation. But for this acquisition, Trea Turner is the only player since 2018 when he became an everyday player that has more than 90 home runs and more than 140 stolen bases. The only player in baseball that's done that. He is going to steal 50 bases this year with the rule change. Bigger bases, pitchers not throwing over. He's a player who's going to be better this year than he was last year. You're signing a guy that you can expect he's going to be better. No shift anymore. He had 194 hits last year, second most in baseball behind Freddie Freeman. He played every day, 160 games on the season. He's going to steal a ton of bases. And Kyle Schwarber last year hit 46 home runs, 31 of them solo home runs, 31 solo shots. Turner leading off, setting the table, stealing bases, first baseman holding the runner, that hole over there without the shift. And he's not a great defender, but he's got great range, and that's going to be a factor without the shift as well.
And this was a very dynamic lineup, Steve, before Trea Turner is put into it. We saw that last year. I'll say what you said in a different way. Last 3 years, Trea Turner is slugging .514. He's also still, Jason, the second fastest man in the major leagues among regulars. Right? It's only Witt that's faster than he is. I think Corbin Carroll, who doesn't play regularly, but he's one of the fastest guys in the majors. Do you agree with Steve that the new rules for stolen bases, this is going to maximize it?
I do. I mean, Steve touched on this. And when you think about where the Phillies are and where the game is, Trea Turner feels like the perfect fit for the Phillies. They need the offense because Bryce Harper's out for, who knows, 2 months, 3 months. They need athleticism in the middle infield. It's never been more important with no shift. And then the ability to run is going to be a huge thing. Brian, I wrote a piece for The Athletic for today about how the new rules are shaping the way teams build their rosters in ways that we haven't seen. And those two things, athleticism in the middle infield, speed, because speed is going to be such a weapon. Those are two really high things on the list now.
And these are the defending National League champions, a team that's also coming off an outstanding year. They're a great team all year, the New York Mets. They go back to another veteran 1-2 punch. Jacob deGrom leaves, but in comes Justin Verlander, who I thought, Steve, last year, he just answered the call. 175 innings. The one time he shut it down was when the Astros had it locked up. He's going to be, now going into his 39, age 40 and 41 seasons. It could be a 3-year deal. I think he only needs 140 innings in that second year to make that vest. So it's kind of a 3-year, $122 million deal.
I love this deal for the Mets. In fact, it's going to work out better for them than if they had gone to 5 years to try to match the deal on Jacob deGrom. I really do. I think he's more predictable than Jacob deGrom is. I know he's 40 years old, but he's the Cy Young. Plan B for the Mets was the AL Cy Young Award winner.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Now you've got him and Scherzer at the top of the rotation. Interesting. Both of them making $43.33 million. They brought them together. Remember, there's some thought that maybe in Detroit they didn't get along all that great. They also, right now, I think Verlander is 5 strikeouts ahead of Scherzer in the strikeout race with each other. So the internal competition is going to be phenomenal. This is a huge save for the New York Mets. I love it for them.
You get the sense, since they're making exactly the same AAV, that perhaps that was negotiated.
Perhaps.
Give me, I want what he's making.
Exactly.
I don't need a dime more, but I need what that guy is making. And they are. Look, he had a 1.75 ERA, and the consistency was there. I worried about deGrom, even though he's going to be 35. It seems like Verlander, age 40, is a more sure bet.
It seems irrational if you took the names out and thought, why would a team want to pay a multi-year deal to a guy turning 40, but not to the guy turning 35? But when you look at the track record of the two guys, and you just examine Justin Verlander, ways wired. I've been talking to Justin for 10 years about the stuff that drives him. He wants to do things that pitchers don't do anymore. Pitchers have never done. He thinks he can win 300 games. He thinks he can pitch till 45 and beyond. I wouldn't bet against him. It's what he does.
Yeah, he's got 244 wins right now, if you're into that sort of thing. And look, but nobody's doing it ever again, so I guess you can be into that. It is amazing. He's also a modern pitcher that uses all the modern tools. He knows how to pitch. And we saw a wave of pitchers last year, not just the top-end guys, but even guys like Zach Greinke, Adam Wainwright. When you know how to pitch now in this era of velocity, it makes a big difference.